Hello, welcome to this update for Asia and Australia. So we'll take a look at both areas, starting the tropics, and we'll take a look at the Indian Ocean as well, including East Africa. So first things first, there's tropical storm Fungwong that hit the Philippines as a strong typhoon. Now it's already decaying into like remnants, leaving some rain in Taiwan still, but still might leave some heavy rain near the southern islands of Japan. And the radius of this will still like curve around a little bit there in the Western Pacific. So let's see how much rain is expected. There's still like some strong winds, some heavy rain in the southern islands of Japan and near Taiwan as well. Like especially those areas there today, Wednesday into Thursday, still some rain left around Amami, Naha, and other areas throughout Thursday and Friday. Friday, this goes away and it dries up in those areas. So basically, you might have some heavy rain until Friday morning and then later dries up. Saturday still shows a shower or two across those areas or a storm or two, and then the rest is far out. So be careful in those areas around Taiwan as well. So today's Wednesday until next Monday, the 5-day total shows a few spots there around Tokushima, Naha, and Amami, some 60 or more millimeters, especially like some 117 millimeters in some islands. So be careful in those areas. The mainland Japan is not showing too much, like 0 millimeters in Tokyo, just on the western shores, a little bit of rain, maybe some snow in the north. So be aware. And then shows in Taiwan, still some heavy rains, some localized areas, central northern Taiwan. And the more dangerous thing will still happen in Vietnam. Still shows more than 200 millimeters next 5 days across Vietnam, especially central areas. Southern areas, some downpours as well, but especially like central areas right by the South China Sea. The Europeans even do like 300 millimeters a few areas. The GFS is kind of crazy. It's around like 500 millimeters. I don't think it will be this much, but that will be a lot. The icon is the lower, that has the lowest amount, like just 108 to 211 millimeters. But either way, there will be a lot of heavy rain sent to Vietnam into Laos, especially in Vietnam. So please be careful with flooding. You already had a lot of heavy rain only the last month or so, and you had a strong typhoon a few weeks ago as well. So please be careful with flooding and stay safe. Be careful in Cambodia, Thailand, some spots with some strong showers and storms, and also shows Indonesia, especially Malaysia, central Indonesia, those areas on 100 millimeters, spots there to like 113 millimeters, and throughout Jakarta, Java, shows some more scared showers and storms in Sumatra, and across Western Guinea as well. Like usual in the tropics, these areas just daily showers and storms in the tropics, but it's already spreading further south into Australia. Some spots to 60 millimeters, Northern Territory, then to Western Australia, more than 75, especially Queensland from a few extra storms close to 100 millimeters, Victoria, new spots in New South Wales, especially eastern New South Wales, and a few areas in South Australia. So be aware, New Zealand still some rain next 5 days. Most of the island, like some 70 to 80 millimeters. A few areas, some 15 millimeters. North Island in the next 5 days. Show some showers and storms already picking up in Fiji and Tonga. Spots in Samoa, some 80 millimeters. Nothing too crazy, but just some passing showers and storms to be aware. In New Caledonia, barely nothing, just a shower or two. In northern Vanuatu, some more spots in the Solomon Islands as usual. And there's this moisture surge possible in French Polynesia, a few areas there like 111 millimeters in Papeete, more than 50 as well, and a few spots there central in the central atolls. So be aware. Just be careful those showers and storms. The GFS is a little bit less, but has a similar thing in the icon, especially further west, but does have a lot as well. So be careful in those areas. And just for curiosity, let's see until the 25th of November. This is a lot of time, but it does increase a lot across Indonesia, more across Vietnam, and spots in the central Western Pacific, like Southwestern Pacific, some more as well. So just those general tropical showers and storms, but something to look out for, especially to the end of this month as you enter the rainy season. So be aware, nothing too crazy. Let's just look further east here, like to the middle part of this month. Does show even like some 400 millimeters the central atolls in French Polynesia until the 23rd, and until the 25th shows even like 430 millimeters. So it's something to watch out for later this month because there's this general pattern here, some waves of moisture riding on top of this ridge in the South Pacific. So just be aware throughout this month and we'll keep watching. The Indian Ocean shows some across extreme southern India into Sri Lanka, spots there like northern Sri Lanka, especially. This is just 5 days until next Monday, and a few spots across Sumatra and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and more spots in Malaysia. And then does show some northern Madagascar, central Madagascar as well, spots there across like some 60 or more millimeters, northern Madagascar, and just to mention spots in South Africa and into Mozambique, even showing close to like 179 millimeters, close to 200, some localized spots in Mozambique. The GFS is similar, it has in Mozambique as well, but less in South Africa, and the icon has more than 100 millimeters in Pretoria, in South Africa, just in the next 5 days. So please be careful in those areas. Well, watch out for flooding across Zambia, so close to 100 millimeters as well, and more frequent showers and storms in Democratic Republic of the Congo, Gabon, most of Central to Southern Africa. Just be careful with flooding in those highlighted spots there. And the long range in the Indian Ocean does increase across Central Africa and Eastern Madagascar later this month as well. So be aware and just keep monitoring. So in the Western Pacific, for now, no more storms are expected. But let's just take a quick look. The GFS is like shows the remnants of Fung Wong there, and then it goes out to the Pacific, but still shows some waves there in the Philippines, some disturbances. It goes towards Vietnam, so this is the disturbance that will bring some torrential rain, especially this next weekend in Vietnam there. So be careful in Cambodia and Laos as well, but especially Vietnam into early next week. This might continue dumping moisture. Show some isolated low pressures the Western Pacific, but no threat for land as of now. Just those lower pressures, the South China Sea, that might cause flooding in Vietnam. So be aware. And there in the Indian Ocean, there's a very interesting situation. The GFS shows like the Bay of Bengal around Sri Lanka, some lower pressures, also around the Northern Territory in Australia, watching some lower pressures already by next weekend. So it shows like more waves of heavy rain across Indonesia, there in Vietnam, as I showed you, and later possibly something in the Bay of Bengal. That the GFS is trying to form something around the 26th, the Bay of Bengal, and the zero European shows like on the 23rd, 24th. The European does form a formidable cyclone, the Bay of Bengal, around the 27th as well. I'm not saying this will happen because this is too far out and not certain, but it might happen. So just watching. There's another thing we're watching here, the European ensembles. It does show this is 240 hours out until the 22nd. It shows the Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea. A few ensembles are showing something, but this doesn't go as far as the 27th with that wave we are watching. This is before, but shows already some lower pressures in the South China Sea, there near Vietnam that might cause flooding. So this is too close to the equator for tropical cyclone chances, but better just watch what these lower pressures do. And shows a lot of guidance across northern Australia, like northwest Australia, northern territory. There are a lot of members showing tropical depression to tropical storm strength in the next 2 weeks there. So just watch in northwestern Australia. Not saying that it will happen, but there's a good chance that there might be some development near Australia. So just be aware. Some random low pressure systems near Mozambique, but just leftover low pressures. So here there's the Google AI model, the same time frame. It does show there in the Bay of Bengal, like very southern areas, some low pressures starting to form, but like this is still very little guidance. And then there's a member or two in the Arabian Sea showing something as well. So let's see northern regions. There's like South Pacific or something here. So it shows like not northern Australia near the Northern Territory, Northwest Australia. There's a good concentration of members there showing something. So just watch there the GFS ensembles just to have an idea. The GFS is very messy, like things everywhere, but it does shows around Northern Territory, Western Australia, some guidance to watch as well. So be aware. There's the other Google AI that only shows a few members Northern Australia. So just be aware in those areas, and even if nothing forms, you have some heavy rain, gusty winds, Northern Australia from time to time, especially those low pressure systems pass by. The European area shows scattered showers and storms throughout the Northern Territory by Saturday, and going to Queensland as well, more scattered storms. Much of the Northern Territory into Queensland Saturday, Sunday shows like this front goes all the way down close to New Zealand by Sunday, and by Monday the 17th, probably this front in New Zealand, some heavy rain. So this goes mainly in southern New Zealand, but by the 19th might affect all of New Zealand by the 18th, 19th. So just watch it. You'll still change, but better keep watching and be careful with these rains across Australia, because these accumulations showing up on the map here might come in the form of strong thunderstorms. So be careful in those areas, and still shows today on the 12th some shower storms in South Australia from a leftover front. So be aware, tomorrow Thursday still some, and it continues. So be careful in those areas and warn others. So stay safe. The rest of Asia, rain accumulation show like in Turkey, so heavy rain in the Black Sea from those leftover fronts from Europe, in Syria, into Lebanon, some more rain, and Western Iran does show a few sprinkles into northern Iraq. Even Saudi Arabia might have some rare rain droplets falling, so be aware, but still like the GFS has even less there, so very little, and shows like everything north of Kazakhstan is basically snow, but there'll be some rain in the mix as well. So here shows like the precipitation type across Russia, some snow, some wet snow as well, and some rain in Kazakhstan, Western Russia, some rain as well. But there's this big area of snow across Scandinavia, going to Russia there, that shows even some freezing rain in a spot or two, and more snow across eastern Russia, especially some wet snow there across the Pacific. So this goes, those waves of snow as usual across Mongolia, high elevations of China, and southern Russia. And there's this wave of snow that might cross central Russia with some very high likelihood of some ice by Saturday. So shows some possible freezing rain and some ice pellets by Saturday afternoon. There's central Russia. This continues until Saturday night, shows more snow and freezing rains central Russia. And then this snow moves further east throughout next week. So be careful, especially with freezing rain. It can be very damaging, the ice and freezing rain. So be aware and follow local alerts across central Russia and those areas. So 5 days of snow here, starting from the south, shows central China into those high elevations, so some 25 centimeters or more. Spots in central East China, even further east, some more snow in those mountains, and a finger or two in the Himalayas. So be aware, shows there across west eastern Kazakhstan, spots in the Tian Shan Mountains into Mongolia, and extreme northern China, more snow as well. Next 5 days, especially across most of Russia. Central Russia, some heavier spots like right at Central Russia, even 55 centimeters. Some towns, various towns should 30 centimeters or more, and shows more there on the Arctic as well, especially those islands in the Arctic Ocean. Western Russia, mainly at the extreme northwest, there are some 47 centimeters or more spots there. Central Western Russia, close to Belarus as well, might eventually have some throughout the next 5 days, and shows more across central-ish Western Russia, some more as well. Spots northern Kazakhstan, a spot or two, so be aware. And northernmost China, we also have some northeastern China there into Japan. So Japan is already getting some snow. And I want to call this sea effect snow because there's a lake effect snow, and this snow comes like from the moisture from the Sea of Japan. So I'll just call it sea effect snow. Shows in the mountains, but it's mainly confined to the high elevations there in central Japan in the mountains where it's cold enough. So be aware, spots central northern island there in Japan more widespread. So be careful, southeastern Russia, especially there across easternmost Russia in the Pacific, some 48 centimeters or more, spots of some 8 centimeters, 17, and this changes the whole time. So shows like the GFS is more concentrated close to the coast and it has less further inland, but the European has some more further inland, the icon as well. So be careful in those areas, especially those clippers across central Russia. The GFS has some good amounts too, and be careful. Now moving on to Western Asia, shows more snow in Turkey, a good amount actually, those mountains in eastern Turkey, across central Turkey, even more than 60 centimeters of snow, more spots there in Turkey, in the Caucasus, especially the Western Caucasus, and more spots there, so be careful. And already some the first snow there, the mountains in Western Iran, and spots northwestern Iran, northernmost Iraq near the border with Turkey, so be aware as well a little bit. And the time frame of this, there's this front there in the Black Sea now, and shows more snow across the Caucasus and Turkey. Thursday, Friday, especially Friday into Saturday, a storm or two in Iraq, and Saturday, Sunday, still more in Turkey, some in Iran, Azerbaijan, then Sunday into Monday, moves into Azerbaijan, and then moves away there into Central Asia. So be aware those areas and be careful too. Now for some potential winds because this changes a lot. Shows there the Western Pacific, some strong gusts as usual in the northeastern coast of Russia, and the gusts from the ex-typhoon there near Taiwan. So today's late Wednesday and then into Thursday afternoon there in Asia, some strong gusts in the southern islands of Japan, and Thursdays, especially around Naha and those areas, even like close to 100 km per gust, not far offshore. So be careful in those areas and might get gusty. Shows across northern Japan, especially southeastern Russia. And the sea surrounding northern Japan, some higher gusts as well. So be careful. Thursday, Friday continues in the Pacific between Alaska and Russia, and shows there already by Friday, some higher gusts in Mongolia, central Mongolia, even spots in Tibet there into southern Russia. So be aware. And Thursday afternoon tomorrow shows in Tibet some higher gusts in the high terrain, and maybe starting there in western China and will move into Mongolia. So be aware. And then Thursday, Friday, this goes further east into Mongolia, northern China. By Sunday, the 16th, shows northern China, some higher gusts, the Sea of Japan once again, and a few localized spots there in northern China. And this might go under rapid cyclogenesis by Monday, become exotropical cyclone near southeastern Russia and Japan with some higher gusts by next Monday, and some strong gusts in the South China Sea as well. So be careful, there's still some long ways out and it might not happen like this but just keep monitoring. So on the west does show some high gusts, the Arctic Ocean near northwestern Russia because of those systems there and this blast of cold air kind of coming down to Eastern Europe. It shows some very high gusts in the Arctic Ocean there of Russia and like spots very close there to the Arctic by Friday, Saturdays, even more than 100 km per gust, just blasting those northern coasts there. So be careful too, because that's possible. And then there's across Turkey, those areas, the Caucasus, some localized higher gusts, the higher terrain there, the central Caucasus, Thursday and Friday, and spots in eastern Turkey might get some stronger ones as well. So Friday, Saturday, still a localized spot or two there, but nothing too extreme in terms of winds there. So be careful those areas. Now for temperatures, let's take a look at Asia first and then a quick look in Australia later. So shows like spots central Russia, literally freezing, spots to minus 37 degrees Celsius, and this is just the lightest part. The harshest parts like minus 45 degrees Celsius in central northern Siberia. So please, I hope you are very warm because this is extremely cold. Stay safe, be careful with instant hypothermia, frostbite, and please stay inside. Be careful, shows more spots central Russia. You know you're used to it, but please be careful. And through eastern Russia, basically all negative temperatures. It shows like further south into northern China, some minus 13. Most of Mongolia very cold. This is Thursday morning, the 13th, like tomorrow morning, so shows some minus 18 spots in Tibet, even to minus 27 in the mountains, Tajikistan, very cold into Afghanistan, more spots in central China, even the lower elevations. So be aware, those areas, more spots there into central Russia, even into western Russia. So be careful Thursday. This cold air just keeps spinning and moving around Siberia, getting even colder. So Thursday, Friday, there's a small break on the west with some better temperatures before this next blast of cold air comes down into northwestern Russia. So be aware, it might get harsher in Mongolia, eastern Kazakhstan, and southern Russia, northern China, even to like minus 31, minus 29, so localized spots there by Friday into Saturday. Mongolia, more spots northern China, and in the south you are kind of fine. It shows some 12 degrees eastern China during the night, 8 degrees in the south, some 20s, central India in the teens. So you're doing fine. A few spots like to chillier, but nothing crazy. In Japan, the high elevations colder, so some active temperatures, especially northern Japan, and like Tokyo around 9 degrees by Saturday morning, and shows South Korea spots there to minus 7. So this goes Saturday afternoon might warm up more across Southeast Asia, a few spots there, and then by Sunday morning, still shows spots there in Russia, not minus 45, but still minus 30, minus 40. So please be careful. There's this big cyclone spinning everything that way. There's like this blast of cold air across northwestern Russia, a break in between, and the real cold in central eastern Russia. So be careful because all of this moves pretty fast and the weather changes fast. So be aware. Shows in Kazakhstan, some active temperatures, central eastern Kazakhstan, and let's not forget our friends in the mountains of the west. Shows in central Turkey. This is Saturday, some minus 1, some minus 4 to minus 5 in the Caucasus. Even colder wind chills. Shows some minus 6 central Turkey. Istanbul around 10 degrees. So be aware, northern Iran, spots in the mountains, Afghanistan too. and the rest is relatively mild. So be careful, and especially the wind chills across central to eastern northern Asia, extremely cold. So stay safe. This blast of cold air dives down to central western Russia, and that break in between almost disappears. So please be careful. Still cold in Kazakhstan by next Monday. Most of the high elevations, Central Asia, extremely cold, and the negative temperatures even grow in size by Monday across Turkey. So be aware Monday, Tuesday, and later this might change more, but still watching. So stay safe in those areas. Now, for the last part, let's see the extreme heat spots northwestern Australia already happening. So during the night, it's still relatively mild, depending on how you feel the atmosphere. It might be kind of cold, some 10 degrees, 9 degrees, spots in the south, and then shows during the day, Northern Territory right to 40 degrees, spots Northern Territory during the day, 40 spots Western Australia to 37, 38, and across Queensland even 39 as well. So already be careful those heat wave conditions and the thunderstorms that follow. So Thursday night into Friday morning, it dips down the south again, still a spot or two to like 3 degrees. So still kind of coldish there. And in Tasmania as well, believe it or not, still to like -2 degrees, spots in Tasmania. New Zealand is doing fine for now, but still colder in the mountains, a few spots there. And then Friday afternoon warms up, especially the coast of New Zealand there, and a few spots. And then in Australia, it's still around some 38 to 40 degrees, spots in Queensland as well, and spots Western Australia. So be careful. Friday and Saturday morning dips down again, spots in the south, and then by Saturday afternoon, starts climbing across Western Australia, spots in Queensland to 39 still, even like New South Wales on 36 degrees or more, still some 4 degrees or less in the mountains in New Zealand. And then take a look at this, it does dip colder again by Sunday morning in the Alps in New Zealand. There's some -4, -3, 0 degrees spots in the mountains, so be aware. And then shows Saturday into Sunday, it gets very hot in Western Australia, right into the mid 40s, some 42 to 43, marble bars, so some 40 degrees, and spots further west in Western Australia too. So that season is officially starting. It shows more across some 30s, Northern Territory, spots in Queensland, slightly warmer. So be aware. In the extreme south, not much yet. And then it even dips down lower to like some 1 degree in Tasmania, some 6 degrees Victoria, 14 degrees during the night, South Australia, and New Zealand is similar situation. So be aware, but still like during the day on Monday the 17th, so 42 degrees on the west, and just 8 degrees on the east, 7 degrees in the mountains in southern Australia. So it's a big contrast. Monday, this goes, and take a look at this. While you have extremely above average temperatures on the west, you have near, like, I would call this extremely below average temperatures on the southeast, because -4 in November shows spots there across Victoria, New South Wales, and spots in Tasmania similar. So be aware, Monday shows like still spots in the west by Tuesday afternoon, like some 43, 41 degree, 35, 39, not areas there. And then Tuesday to Wednesday, dips again, a few spots in the south, but not as cold. And then it keeps changing. But later, I'm already seeing this heat wave spreading Western Australia. So just be aware in those areas, and we'll keep watching. So stay safe. Just one more thing, is also showing snow in the next 5 days in southeastern Australia, even to like some 9 centimeters, and spots in Tasmania, even like 18 centimeters next 5 days. the European model in New Zealand as well, and until next Monday. So be aware, if I put just until Friday, shows across Tasmania and New Zealand, but from Friday to next Monday, shows some more across southeastern Australia. So this is unusually late in the season, but be aware, and later still watching. So not only this, but the strong winds shows like special wind gusts across Tasmania today, the 12th and the 13th, and later into Friday. Let's see if this updates shows some gusty winds central New Zealand on the 14th, and then the 15th again in southeastern Australia. This internet is not working, so shows like between the 14th and the 15th, a few spots there in southeastern Australia on Saturday the 15th, and then Sunday this goes out into the ocean, but Monday the 17th shows another disturbance, some widespread gusty winds southeastern Australia Monday, especially later Monday. So please be careful, and into New Zealand starting Tuesday, some stronger gusts. So please stay safe and be aware.